I'm Chef Frank. This is Protocooks, and today we're making chicken pimientos with
Emily.
Emily.
Hi, I'm Emily. That's Frank.
So when we first spoke, we talked about teaching you how to make a chicken dish.
Yeah, that's
okay.
right.
And the dish that I wanted to show you is something that I used to make in the restaurants, and it's called chicken pimientos. I worked at this place called Barcelona Wine Bar, and I was there for about 6 years, and this was one of their most popular dishes. And it's really delicious. It doesn't take a lot of ingredients.
Yeah.
And it makes people extremely happy.
Yeah, it looks, I'm already liking what I'm seeing here. What is this?
Okay, so so this is what you need. We have chicken thighs that I'm going to show you how to bone out, which we're going to give you knives. Excellent. Hot cherry peppers in brine, dry white wine, chicken stock or chicken broth, and you can make your own if you want to, but I'm going to show you a little trick today on how to make this a little better. Make sure it's not salted or low salt. I like to add salt as I cook.
You control the salt.
I control the salt. I have garlic, fresh lemon, always fresh lemon, unsalted butter, and parsley, and that's all that you need. So I like to use chicken thighs for this because they don't really dry out. For home cooks, I think thighs are one of those things that...
They're more forgiving?
Very forgiving,
Yeah.
right? And I know, you said it earlier, you're a little bit better cook than you say you are.
No.
But this will, this ensures you get a nice kind of product at the end. It stays juicy, it's delicious.
Yeah.
And I like to buy thighs with the bone in and the skin on, because skin is just delicious.
It's delicious. It's the best part.
Skin is delicious, leave it on.
Yeah.
But,
what are you doing? Leave that skin on.
contrary to popular belief, I don't make everything, right?
What?
I know.
Right.
I know. And sometimes, when you're in a pinch, right, especially home cooks might use box broth or canned broth.
I use it all the time. It's all I use. I've never made my own stock. I've watched a video. I didn't do anything about it.
But here's the trick, right? So we're going to have bones from this. So why not kind of amp this up just a little?
Oh,
so
yes.
what we're going to do with this is you can take one box. I'll take one box. We'll put our broth that's store-bought into the pot. Squeeze. You got to squeeze. That's what I do. Okay. So we're going to put that into the pot. And when we butcher the chicken... Come on.
Sorry, I had a lot of coffee this morning.
And when we butcher the thighs, we'll put the bones in there, we'll throw it on the fire, and we'll just let it cook and get some flavor out of those bones.
All right.
So they don't go to waste.
Yeah.
Okay? So you're going to do 2. Do you get squeamish about this stuff?
No, but I have not deboned a thigh before.
Okay. We're going to use that plate again. So this is what we're going to do. You grab your knife.
Okay.
Okay? I turn it over. Right? And there's a little joint here, and then there's a little... So that joint is going to go away from you.
Okay.
Turn it around. Right? And if you can feel the bone here. I take the tip of the knife. The back of the knife is resting on the bone. So go to the other side. If you push away from you, you'll feel there's a bone there, right? And all you do is pull towards you and let your knife rest on the bone. Right? Okay. You feel the bone there, it rests on the bone, and you kind of have a clear view of that bone now, right? Perfect, yeah. Right? Now, you go to the opposite side. This side is going to rest on the bone, and you just pull towards you, resting on the bone. Yep, there you go. That's good. No, it's good.
Cool.
And you kind of clear it out. And I'm not too worried about this. If there's a little bit of chicken left on the bone, I don't care. Yeah. It's going to go into our stock.
Because it'll
right?
just be delicious.
The next step is to pinch, right? You hold your knife, but if you pinch here, your fingers can almost touch, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I take the knife, stick it in there where I'm pinching. Turn it around. Turn your knife so the blade's away from you. Yep. And now you just run your knife along the bone and pop it out.
Right. Almost got it.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, what's this?
That's called the oyster. So what you can do with the oyster is this. Just make sure it stays on there.
Okay.
Right? And now we have the bone that is kind of clear from the chicken. Scrape it down a little if you have to. Just go like that. Yep. Nice. And now I take the bone and turn the whole thing around.
Okay.
And I take my knife and just cut that whole joint off. Here's the thing. You never want to cut in the air, right?
Yeah.
So push that bone onto the... and cut... across the, see? If you cut in the air, you have no leverage.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how I was going to make that work.
There's our bone, and it goes right in the stock.
All right, bye, bone.
And then what we're going to do here is I do want skin on this. So let's flatten our skin out. You're good. Turn it back over, and we're going to trim off any excess skin. So any excess skin, yeah, like any like little, like I don't know what you call it, like weird googly stuff. It goes right into the pot. Good. Our skin is nice and even. This can go on our plate over here. Okay. And that is a boned out thigh. Boom, baby. Garlic. Always use fresh garlic. It gives you the best flavor, right? Yeah. And all I do is this. I peel off a few of the layers, put my hand on it, and just lean on it, right? And that'll give you your cloves, right?
That was like a magic act.
It's like magic, yeah. Ta-da! Garlic! We're going to take the side of our knife and give it a whack. Nice. A little harder. Perfect. Yeah?
I'm giving 2 whacks because I have weak arms. First started dating my husband, he was buying the pre-minced garlic.
Oh boy.
That was like pickled.
Oh
I was
my
like,
gosh.
this isn't what garlic should taste like.
I agree 100%. It is not right. And then all we need to do with this is I'm going to do a rough chop. I don't even worry about size, shape. If there's a few pieces that have that are small, and that's it. Minimally processed garlic. How are you with spicy food?
I love spicy food.
Okay, good. What, does Dan like spicy food?
Dan loves spicy food.
Okay, good. And I'm using pickled cherry peppers.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be this brand. It could be whatever brand.
It has to be this brand.
But if you can't find this, you can't make this. Sorry. Yeah, if you don't have a Star Wars tasting spoon, that's what I taste everything with. You can't taste your dishes.
Are they hot? How spicy are they?
They're not super. I mean, I like spice too, so they're not super spicy. But the more you put in, obviously.
Well, yeah.
The more
so that's how we adjust the heat. Is like you add more cherry peppers.
Exactly. I always wear gloves when I do chilies of any sort, even the pickle ones, because it's like. Yeah. Right? And you've probably burned yourself with chilies before.
I have. I burnt myself once on a habanero and I learned my lesson.
Yeah. So I buy the gloves and I do it, and then, people make fun of me because I'm a chef and I'm supposed to be tough.
Well, have you ever burnt your hands with a pepper?
Consistently, all the time. And I get called all the time. The first time I made this dish, I did like a gallon or 2 of these with no gloves, and I paid the price. And it was like my hands were like throbbing all day, and like I will never do it again. We're gonna crack these suckers open, and that's one for you. The greens and the reds, whatever ones you got, it doesn't matter. We're gonna use one dish, and we'll share it. We're just gonna pull the stem off, right? Yeah. And then we're just gonna split it in half, and you're gonna scoop out the seeds as much as you can. Cool. And shake them out.
So a thing I learned recently, and maybe you can confirm or deny, is that the thing that's spicy about peppers is not the seeds, which everyone thinks it's the seeds, it's the pith.
It is the pith. Like these little ribs in here, that's where the spice comes. So you see these little ribs right there? That's what holds the heat. Yeah. And because the seeds sit on them, that's why people think it's the seeds. Yeah. And we actually... The funny thing is my students wanted to prove this once, and we sat there and we picked the seeds out, and we all tasted and we all agreed it was the ribs. Right? Amazing. So again, I don't like to process too much here, so I just cut these in half and they go in. If there's a few seeds. You gotta also be careful sometimes when you squeeze these, you get a little squirt of pepper juice in your eye.
Ooh, good shout.
Be careful.
And I have my built-in goggles, so I'm...
She's got her spectacles.
I actually, when I do things without my goggles, or my glasses in the kitchen, I like get a lot more stuff in my eyes. And I'm like, oh, my glasses are actually protecting me.
So we're gonna put a little brine in there. We're not gonna use it all.
The dirty martini of chicken.
Exactly. Like this would make a great dirty martini, but this also makes the brine great. Well, we'll try that a little later. Okay. When you put this, that's okay. That's what we do. We make a mess here.
Is it okay that this one's going to be in
It doesn't matter, right? So I just don't like to slice these. I like to have a good chunk of pepper in there. It gives you good flavor. Yeah. And it also kind of gives you... it's
delicious. It's beautiful.
And like you could cut it. Every time you cut a piece of chicken, you cut a piece of pepper.
Yeah. You can like... suss it out the way you want it.
Yeah, like you can, more pepper, less pepper. Are you ready to learn how to season from the salt master?
I am so excited to see in person how much salt actually goes onto things.
I can't believe I just said that.
We're rolling with it.
Oh, we're rolling with it.
No questions.
I always use my tongs, right? So I have a tray. Yeah. And we're going to season up both sides, right? Because we want to have flavor. Yeah. So I'm going to show you 2. I'm going to show you 1 and you'll do the rest. Okay. This is kosher salt.
Yeah. What are we looking at here? Diamond crystal?
No, this is diamond crystal. Yeah, exactly, right? So you know your salts.
Yeah, because Epicurious sent me a bunch of them, so now I just have them in my house.
So when I season, I take a nice pinch, and I go really high, and I go back and forth a little, right? Just so I get a good dispersion, right? And then I get my black pepper. I always use fresh cracked black pepper.
It's the best.
And same thing, a little high, and that's it. Give it a flip with my tongs.
It's a normal salt crust.
Yeah, right? And you want a little salty crust.
Yeah, it is. It'll be delicious. And it's also like with meat, like you're seasoning the outside because you can't season the inside.
Exactly. Oh my God, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Because nobody understands that. It's
right.
like, come on, people. And then a little black pepper. So your turn. Nice and high. Go higher. There you go. Beautiful.
Is that no? That's
a little
not
more.
enough.
I think go a little more.
I can
Give
feel
another
in
pinch.
my bones that's not enough.
Yeah, and do all 3 at this point too. Like, we don't need to do them one at a time. Give me more. Give me more.
Oh yeah, that one's gonna.
There you go. Go high. Everyone always like goes close. And see, like when you go close, what do? You get little like salty spots, which
salt.
I like.
Which is good. But...
Beautiful. Little black pepper, and by and
Right. Black pepper.
Yeah. And you don't have to go too crazy with the black pepper.
I over pepper everything. That's actually one of my. No one knows. No one talks about it. It's just like my personal life.
Good. Perfect. We're good. And now we can actually cook these.
All right, I gotta warm up.
Ready? Stretch.
Yeah.
I want the pan to be super hot, so I'm going to turn it on.
Okay.
I want it to be smoking hot.
That's certainly the first step to getting it hot.
Yeah, you need heat to cook.
Yeah.
And we're going to just brown them, and then we'll finish them in the oven. I'm going to use some olive oil, and we're going to smoke this place out.
All right.
And a fair amount of olive oil because we don't want this sticking, and we want this to actually come up a little on the sides of the chicken too.
Okay. Cool.
And what I'm waiting for this is that we start to see a little smoke.
Okay.
Not like billowing the house is on
yeah,
fire.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so if we look at this and you kind of go down here, it's like ripply,
I see.
and we see a little bit of smoke. Like it's not smoke. So I'm gonna do the first one, and you do the second one. We're gonna do these in batches.
All right.
I take the chicken with my tongs, I lay it in, and I drop it away from me so I don't get splashed. Right?
Okay.
So drop it away right next to it and don't get splashed.
All right.
Skin side down. Perfect.
Sorry.
See, that's what we're trying to avoid getting on ourselves, right?
Yeah, at least you went that way.
Yeah. And now I leave it alone. So I know you live in an apartment. How's the ventilation?
Actually, there's windows in the kitchen, so.
Yeah? Okay, good.
Windowy.
Windowy. So you can put like a box fan in there and stuff like that. This is something you want to do with a little bit of ventilation. I have a hood here,
Cool.
but it could get a little smoky. But you want to leave this on a high heat for at least like 5 to 7 minutes just to get that skin nice and crisp. Cool. And we're going to finish in the oven. We're going to leave it alone and let it be, right? And we're going to stare at it.
Yeah, right.
Stare at it intently.
5 minutes of looking at it, right?
Basically, yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay, ready? Set the timer. So one thing we can see too is that you can see around the edges it's starting to get brown, right? So let's take a look. All right, so that's okay.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna let it go on the flesh side for like a half a minute because we're gonna roast in the oven and then we're gonna do the other two, okay?
Right.
So we're gonna take that out and you can do the other two.
Okay.
And I'm not worried about my tongs touching raw or cooked because at this point, everything's raw as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, cool.
Right, because these aren't even cooked all the way through. They're gonna go in the oven when we cook them through, so I'm not worried about cross-contamination. I'm gonna turn the hood on for a minute and we'll try and clear out some of the smoke.
Yeah.
So excuse the hood noises.
That's the apartment trick is you would open that door and just start flapping it.
The door.
That's what I used to do. Just flap the door so that you get the wind in from the hallway. Not for them, but for me. What temperature and how long in the oven would you say?
Oh, that's a good question.
Just so I can replicate this
I'm
at
going to
home.
put it in about
keep it a secret.
325 degree oven until it's done.
Ah.
How vague is that?
Perfect. Just the kind of instruction.
It's probably
a person
gonna
who knows
be-
nothing would love.
It's probably going to be about 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
10, 15 minutes. Cool. So that's off. I'm going to do this. It's a little dangerous. I'm going to take the oil out of the pan. Not all of it, because we do need some of that oil, right? So I'm going to take out most of the oil.
Okay.
I leave a little in there because it has some nice chicken flavor to it. See all that stuff?
Yeah.
There's some fond in the bottom of our pan. Fond is like the juices from the chicken that caramelize to the bottom of the pan.
That makes it sound really good.
And it is really good. And we're going to leave that in there, okay? So we're going to leave our pan here. I'm going to go throw this in the oven.
Okay.
And while it's in the oven, we're going to make our sauce.
Okay.
We have our stock that we zhuzhed up a little,
Yeah, fancy
slightly,
stuff.
right?
A little fancy.
Garlic, right? And we're going to turn this on. Oh, I have white wine too.
And white wine. Garlic in?
Yeah, dump. Yeah. Here, get the rest out. I'll take the bowl. You keep the spoon or the paddle. And just like stir it around a little.
Cool. That would be my instinct, but
Yeah.
waiting on instruction.
Again, so there's some like small pieces, some big pieces here. I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
Some of them can be a little darker, some of them will be a little lighter, but I think the balance of flavor really works out good here, right?
Okay.
And I'm looking for it to be like fragrant. It smells
smell
really
it
nice.
already.
I'm going to add the wine.
Add that wine.
That's right where I want it. See that brown? I'm going to add the wine. Now, wine, everyone gets worried that it's going to flame up. For the most part, wine doesn't flame up a lot. There's a lot of water in it.
Yeah.
But you should still take a step back.
Okay.
Right? You like your eyebrows? Okay? And I go, we'll have the measurements in the description, but I go like with my, you know. We're making 4 portions, so I go a little heavier with the wine.
Yeah.
And now we wait.
And
That's
now
all.
we wait.
So we're just going, there's nothing we need to do. If there's a lot of brown stuff on the bottom, we can get our spoon in there and scrape it up.
What do you call it? The fond?
Fond, F-O-N-D. But there's really not much we have to do. Like, we're cooking this to not only get the fond off, we're getting some acidity from the wine, like the base flavor of our dish. By reducing, you're cooking the alcohol off, you're concentrating the flavors of the wine, so you have a nice kind of acidic.
Get rid of some of that water.
Yeah, get rid of the water. Well, yeah. But there's no booze in this after it's cooked. So everyone worries about booze and wine, but no, it's gone. You can see right now the bubbles are like really kind of small and breaking quickly. And as it reduces, those bubbles get bigger and break a lot slower. So we've waited.
Indeed, we have waited.
Indeed.
Thusly,
That's very
passed.
Connecticut. Like, indeed, we have waited. So let's add our chicken stock now. Keep adding until I say stop.
Okay, that works for me.
I want you to hold your ladle like this, right? You hold it like this, it's hard to do. If you hold it like this.
Okay. Oh, like a pen.
Yeah, like a pen. You can just dump it nice and easy.
This is, I feel like 90% of learning to cook is just learning to hold things smarter.
Yeah, like knives, pans.
Yeah.
This is one of those dishes that you want to have a lot of sauce.
Yeah.
Right?
We love
so
sauce.
this is served with tons of bread, and it needs to be saucy. So I always make a little extra. That's why I'm like not telling you to stop yet.
Listen, I love this. I'm just...
Okay, I think one more.
Okay.
All right?
This is great because it's a job I can do without fear. You know, I'm just like... I'm fully capable of pouring things with a ladle.
With a ladle? I'm not going to mess it up.
There's nothing I can do with it.
All right. Yeah, let's go one more. What the heck? We might as well.
Yeah.
Right? And now we're going to let this come to a simmer, and guess what we're going to do?
Are we going to wait?
We're going to wait.
Dun, 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 parody. This is a parody. Writing the lyrics so we don't pay the fee.
I love it.
That was incredible.
That's a good one. I think it's reduced enough. We're going to start adding the other elements here.
Cool.
Okay. And here's the thing. With the peppers, the earlier you add them, the hotter the sauce.
Okay.
So it's not only amount of peppers that you put in, it's how long they sit.
Timing.
How long they sit in the sauce.
That makes
exactly,
sense.
Right? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do it. I'm going to add butter.
Cool.
And I have about a 1/4 pound. I think we're going to add most of this. And
All right.
this is not for the faint of heart. Okay, we're going to use... okay, we'll use it all. What the heck?
Yeah.
All right. And we're just going to let this cook. And what's going to happen with this is this butter is going to make our sauce thick, right?
Yeah.
As it reduces, it's going to make it thick. We like it spicy, so we're going to add some of our peppers now.
Yeah.
Right? And we'll add a bunch of these. And you can see all the seeds, like I said, are down at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to add that nice salty brine.
Not sweet, you know.
Sweet.
Sweet emotionally.
Sweet because it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have parsley. Italian parsley, and I have fresh lemon juice that we're going to add later. And guess what we do now?
Should I stir it again?
Give it a stir. And then we're going to wait again.
Yeah. It's just, you know, like, good food takes time.
It does.
You know?
It does.
Time and waiting. Cooking is all about waiting.
Yeah, pretty much.
As a food expert, I can tell you.
I also like to do this. See, like on the sides here, we have a little brown stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just the chicken stock that was caramelized to the bottom of the pan.
Yeah,
I
get
throw
that
that
in
in there
there.
too. We want that good stuff in there.
Yeah, why would you say no
That's
to
why.
flavor?
So now we're just going to sit. We're going to let this cook down a little more, and we'll get the chicken out of the oven, finish garnishing this, and we'll taste.
Sounds
It's
good.
about time. I'm getting hungry.
Cool, I processed all that information for sure.
And now we wait. All right, it's ready to go. Now it's starting to thicken a little. The bubbles are getting a little bit bigger. You can actually hear it sounds a little different, right? And what we're going to do now is just grab some parsley leaves. I want you to just pick off leaves, throw them in. Our chicken is done. I checked it. Just leaves in there. Just break them in. A lot of times people use parsley as a garnish, but I find it's very like refreshing, and it gives it like a nice kind of. The sauce is like very reduced and kind of strong. It gives it a nice kind of like bright finish.
I feel like parsley is the unsung hero of herbs in that it really does have a flavor. People think of it as just like a little would agree.
Oh, yeah.
But it's actually, it tastes good.
I believe, I agree with you 100% on that. It is an unsung hero. Let's get like a few more in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to get lemon juice. And what I do with lemons, I cut them in half. I put them on my hand flat. And if you squeeze, the juice goes down your finger. Right? It just runs down your finger. And the seeds are caught between your hand.
Kind of a dangerous game if you ever get a paper cut.
Well, if you get a paper cut, it's definitely going to hurt. And if you're a chef and you get cut, this hurts. But, okay. And this is part of the reason why we don't taste with our fingers, right? Because if I was to taste this with my fingers now, I would taste lemon, right?
Right.
But I have my handy dandy Star Wars spoon.
That's right.
And I gave you a regular spoon, I'm sorry. Emily had posted on her Instagram that she got these color changing spoons. Was it Lion King?
Oh, I wanted them. I was looking at them. I was just admiring them.
Someone sent Emily those spoons, for God's sake. She needs them.
I will have a P.O. box.
Yeah. So let's give it a taste. And I'm going to use the taste. Give me your spoon too. Okay. We'll get a little of the juice on there so we can use our spoons more than once.
Smart.
Right? And let's give it a taste. Okay, what does it need?
Salt.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to add the salt. And it looks like a lot. It's not, people. It's not a lot. Okay? Give it a stir. But you can see how the sauce is starting to get thick, right? And that's what we want. I'm going to shut it off now. I think we're good. I don't think we need to cook it anymore.
It's so beautiful.
It's kind of silky, right? Here, let's taste it again.
Give it to me, the sauce. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
You're right about the salt?
I think we're good. I'm going to just, maybe just a little more lemon. Because we want that fresh lemon. And I add the lemon at the end because I want it to be a fresh lemon flavor, not like a cooked lemon flavor.
It changes the flavor.
It totally changes the flavor. See, she knows what she's doing. Okay, so let's set this aside. Let's get the chicken, plate it up, and taste it. In the restaurant, what we used to do is this. Okay. We would take this chicken, and it would like sit in the sauce a little. So we might as well do that, right? Yeah. If there's little bits and pieces on here, don't let those go to waste. Put them in your sauce. Oh, exactly. I love that. All the waiting has paid off. All right, I'm going to put a piece on your plate.
Yes.
And I'm going to juice it up.
Okay.
Sauce that sucker up. Yeah. Now, I'm careful not to put the sauce on top of the skin.
Yeah, that beautiful skin.
Because I want to try and keep it as crisp as possible. I put it under the broiler for a second before we plated, okay? Just so that we would have like a little bit of crispiness there.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
Get a pepper in there. So we finally get the taste. Let's get in there.
Let's do it. I'm so excited.
Now, my question is this, right? If you like it, do you think you can make this at home?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I got a little piece of pepper on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my perfect bite here.
A little spicy? Like you can see where you need a lot of sauce, right?
I took such a big bite.
Like you need bread with this, right? You need a little bit of bread. Sop up that sauce. I'm going for another bite. I take small ones.
You're smart. Okay. I'm gonna take a small bite.
Like the sauce is like spicy, but it's also like the butter kind of cuts some of that. It's one of my favorite dishes. It's my son's favorite, and I hope it's gonna be like you and Dan. We're gonna love this dish.
It's so good.
Yeah. So thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Thumbs way up.
And that's the dish I wanted to show you. What do you think?
I love it. Thank you so much for
Could it be a staple in your
Absolutely. I could do this tomorrow. I could do it tonight. I won't because I'm gonna just stay here and eat this. But I could. Before
we sign off, where can people find you?
Oh, so, okay, you can find me, my channel is just my name, Emily Duncan, or you can go hunting for No Expert with Emily Duncan, which is what I call the series that I do. Yeah. Come find me on YouTube.
And watch it. It's more than just ketchup.
Everyone's not just ketchup.
Oh, Emily's ketchup. No, it's...
I swear there's other stuff, and it's fun.
There's drinking. There's
food. I make other food. I make food that's super easy to make if you, don't know what you're doing.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, like, and subscribe.
You gotta subscribe to this guy.
Yeah, subscribe, please. Get me to 1 million. I want to be 1 million.
He's gotta be 1 million.
We have merch in the description down below. Need salt t-shirts, cups, mugs, totes. I like totes. I don't know why.
Everyone likes totes. Who doesn't like a tote?
We also have a P.O. box down there. I want to thank my Patreon patrons for supporting us. We really appreciate what you do. And that is Chicken Pimientos with Emily.
Yay, it's so good.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Hey, it's cool if I threaten your subscribers, right? You should make this.
I'm Chef Frank.
I'm Emily.
This is Protocooks. Have a good one.